Hello and welcome back to part two of our webinar series on the audience engagement journey. In this part, we're going to start looking at the actual journey itself, and we're going to look at the first stage, the awareness raising stage of this journey. Now, I love this stage, and this is kind of the reason why my subtitle to this series is that why Facebook isn't the answer to your problems. And this is one of the reasons why I started to explore the audience engagement journey, is because the work that I was doing and do with education organisations in terms of using social media, I was finding so many of them were thinking that setting up a Facebook page was going to be the answer to their student recruitment problems, and that surely everything was going to happen in Facebook. And I kind of realised that actually it can be part of that solution, but perhaps only in the latter stages of this audience engagement journey, that really it doesn't play a particular role in the awareness stage, and we have to look at other things that's going on at that stage. So this is kind of why I started looking at the audience engagement journey in the first place. So let's spend some time and let's dive in and look specifically at this awareness raising stage. So at this stage, they don't know that you exist, and we need to remember this. They're not going to do things like search for your brand name on Google. They're not going to be going to your website. They don't know where to find it. They've never heard of you. They don't know your name. They don't know your web address. They're not typing your name into Google. They're certainly not liking your Facebook page because they don't even know to look for you on Facebook. They don't know that you're on Twitter. They don't know that you're LinkedIn. They don't know that you're in any of these spaces, quite frankly, because they don't know that you exist. So they might have a need at this stage that's relevant to you, but they certainly don't go looking for you in social media spaces. So let's look at the things that they are doing, that they might be doing at this stage when they don't know that you exist. Well, we know they might be on other sites. We've got up in the corner here mydaughter.co.uk, which is a site for parents to come together to talk about their daughters. So they go on that site and talk about, what schools they're going to send their daughters to and all kinds of things. The other thing they might be doing is they might see their friends or some of the people that they're connected with engaging with you. So in the awareness phase, we need to be really, really cautious and conscious of who are the influencers on the people that we're trying to reach. So if it's prospective students, for example, let's say they're going to college or to university, then it might be their teachers or their parents that you need to reach out to. If it's parents that you're trying to engage with in order to get them into your school, get them to send their children to your school, then it might be their friends or their colleagues or their employer or somebody like that might be an influencer on them, that might have a relationship with you already, that might know about you, and might therefore be engaging with you online. So the people that you're trying to reach, might see them engaging with you online. They may be in other social spaces online. They might be fans of other Facebook pages where you might be able to reach them in those kind of spaces, or at least capture them there. They might be on Twitter. So with those things, what you need to be thinking about doing is, how can you find out where they are? What kind of things can you be listening to online? So this is where your social media monitoring, your social media search becomes really, really important. You're listening out for the people that are tweeting, sharing, the kind of things that suggest they might have an interest in your organisation. For example, when I'm looking for prospective students online, on Twitter in particular, I might do a search for things like the words UCAS personal statement, relevant to those of you in the UK, or search for university open days or something like that, something that they're talking about that shows that they might be doing a search and looking to go to university, but shows that they don't necessarily know who you are and that you exist. And then something as simple as just following them on Twitter might open up that initial introduction. You get that email in their inbox by following them on Twitter that gets you through that awareness stage. They now know that you exist. And the other thing, of course, they might be searching for other things on search engines as well. So you want to know what else they're searching for that might be relevant, that might then drive them to you. So let's just look at search in a little bit more detail and just look at some of the important things in the awareness raising stage that we need to bear in mind. So firstly, this is relatively new, the notion of social search. So we need to be aware that when people are searching for stuff online, their social graph, the people they're connected to, the conversations they have, the kind of things that they search for will influence the search results that they get. In this screen grab example, you can see the people that I'm connected to through various different social media sites. You can see that they have had some kind of engagement with these universities. In this case, they both actually work for the respective universities. But James has shared information about the University of Portsmouth. Annette has +1 this, the information to do with the University of Warwick. So this is increasingly what we call social search, and this is why Google Plus is in more and more becoming quite important, because Google has started to return search results from Google Plus higher up the search results rankings than just standard web pages, for example. So having a presence on Google Plus can actually be quite important now from a search point of view. So that was just off the back of a search of the word university. Really, really useful tool for you at the awareness raising stage and to some extent throughout the journey is Google's AdWords tool. So this is where you can find out some of the keywords that people will be typing in to search for certain things. And when you type in a particular keyword like university, for example, you might also see some of the other keywords that people are searching for. So this is quite important knowledge for you to have, because this is the kind of words that you want to make sure that you're putting in your website and tagging with your other social multimedia content, whatever it might be, online. This is just an example of that happening for me and my company. I don't have the most obvious company name. Pickle Jar Communications, what does that mean? Are you going to put that into a search? So if someone's looking for my company and my service, then they don't know that I exist, so they're at the awareness stage. They're never going to type the words Pickle Jar Communications into a search engine. So I might look, for example, for the kind of keywords that they are searching for, and the people that I'm interested in communicating with, people that work in communications in the education sector, they might be searching for things like social media and the word college, or social media and communications, or social media and further education. What you're looking at here is a slidecast that I put onto SlideShare just a couple of years ago after a very, very brief seminar that I did for a room of about 20 people. I popped the slides on SlideShare. They've now been viewed by over 2,000 people, and they have certainly got people through that awareness raising stage. The people that won't go to my website because they don't know I exist, but they've found out that I exist because they've done a search for something like social media and college, and it's driven them to this on SlideShare. So this is the kind of thing that you might do with some of your other content, your YouTube videos, your slide casts, your blog posts, all this different kind of collateral that you have online, making sure that it's tagged with the right kind of words so that people that don't know you exist might be able to find you in another way. And for those of you where location is important, making sure that your address details are added to Google Maps. So, for example, if a parent is looking for an independent school in their local area, so this is my local area, Newcastle, if they search for the words independent school, as I've done here, you can see A, B and C are schools in the area, independent schools in the area, who have made sure that they are added to Google Maps and Google Places. Now, those results tend to come quite a lot higher in the search results, so that parent might not know what school A, B or C is, but by putting in the words independent school, and by the fact that Google knows the location, they know they're based in Newcastle when they're doing the search, then it will return those results quite high up for you. So those are just a few of the things that you need to bear in mind at the awareness stage, and in particular relation to search and how social media can influence that. But the real thing that you need to be thinking at this stage is what you want your audience to think, feel and do, and how you're going to get them to do this. Now, it's really, really important to do this at each stage, and we'll remind you this throughout these webinars, that if you can work out what you want them to think, feel and do, essentially you're setting your objectives for each stage in this journey. And by doing that, you can set something that's measurable at each stage. So at this stage, it might be, we want them to be searching for a particular thing that essentially drives them to our website. That probably is going to be the initial objective. So you want to be thinking about all these different things in order to make sure that they do this. And then Once they're at the awareness raising stage, once we've got them there, the next stage that we're concerned with is interest, building their interest in you and your organisation. So we're going to come on to think about interest in the next webinar. So hopefully, if you found this first one useful, then come back for the next one, and we'll go through that. And then throughout the rest of the webinar series, we're then going to look at credibility, desire, and action, and how social media plays a role in that. So bye for now, and see you in the next one.